Are we trying to catch another fly? Is that what you're doing? You goof. How does that always happen when I'm on camera? That is funny. Hi everyone, welcome back to Novel Idea. My name is Dia and I am going to do the My Perfect Book tag. You guys, when it rains, it pours around here. I just barely got over COVID and I had a very small glass of wine about 3 nights ago. And I don't know if you can tell, but my face is all swollen and it's very broken out in hives. And so I had a pretty bad reaction to it. I know that I can't have wine, so it was my choice and things. But anyway, I tried to put on makeup to cover it up, but I can still see it. So I don't know if anybody else can or not, but it's on my eyelids, it's on the edges, corners of my mouth, it's even on like the very edge of my nose, all of that kind of thing. So yeah, pretty bad reaction to the wine this time. So if you ever hear me saying, maybe I'll have a glass of wine, just remind me of this moment. My friend Michelle over at Books Cause Insomnia tagged me in this a little while ago, I want to say a couple of weeks ago, and it's an original tag created by MJ after listening to Ollie over at Criminale talk about his perfect book. And so she created this tag and Michelle tagged me in it, and I will leave everybody's information linked down below. I really enjoyed Michelle's video on this, so if you have a chance, you can pop over to her channel and watch hers. All right, so let's jump in. The first question is, what format is your perfect book? And this can be, you know, hardback, paperback, ebook, audiobook, whatever. So my perfect book really depends on what it is. So my classics, I tend to really love in hardback. I love the look of hardbacks on my shelves. But when I am reading something, I really love a paperback book, especially a floppy paperback book. And so I want something that feels really good in my hand. So paperback books that flop open and just stay open to whatever page you do. This is Gathering Blue by Lois Lowry, and this is says Houghton Mifflin book, but any book that does this, that just flops open, stays open to your page, and that you don't have to use two hands for, it's just perfect. So I like paperbacks when they do that, for reading in particular. So if I'm reading a book for the first time especially, I really like to have a paperback book. But otherwise hardback. I never read ebook. I have tried. I've told you that before. And sometimes audiobook, but I absolutely prefer a paperback book for reading. How many pages is your perfect book? So again, this really depends on what kind of book it is, but for the most part, I like anywhere from about 350 to 600 pages. I really love to immerse myself in what I am reading, and anything under 350 pages feels too short to me, and anything more than about 650 feels too long. There are exceptions, of course, but usually my perfect book is no longer than about 650 pages. Are you particular as to where your chapters begin? And the answer to this is yes. I want my chapters to begin on a fresh page on the right-hand side. I want them to be very clear that a new chapter is starting. I don't want it to start at the end of the last chapter on the, at the very bottom of the page or whatever. I want it, just on the right-hand page, brand new page. Let's start fresh, and that's how I like my chapters to begin. Are you particular as to where the page numbers are located? This one's not as big of a deal, but I do like to have them in the same place throughout the whole book. So if they're gonna start up in the little corner of the pages, then I want them to stay in the little corners up at the pages. If they're gonna start in the middle of the bottom page, then I want them to stay throughout the whole book in the middle of the bottom of the page. That's basically it. I just want consistency. Do you have a favorite font? I have not seen anybody yet that's done this tag that has a favorite font. I don't have one. I just want it to be legible. I really love the, what do they call it, drop lettering, when the very first letter of the very first sentence of the chapter is in a larger font than the rest of the font in the book. But I don't care what kind it is, just as long as it is legible and large enough to read. Do margins matter? They don't matter a ton to me, but they do matter a little bit. Margins don't matter a huge amount, but I don't want the words to go down into the center of the book. So here we are with Gathering Blue again. I don't want them to go down into here. I want the binding to be free and clear of words. So I do want a wide enough margin that at least that doesn't happen. It's mainly just where the binding is. I don't want words down in. Does your perfect book have other unique features? Please share. I've thought a little bit about this. So my favorite book, or my perfect book, would have a very kind of texturized cover, a little bit thicker of a paper or cardboard to the cover, or even cloth. And I love French flaps on my paperback books. And part of that is probably because I'm a child of the 80s. So I love French flaps that you can fold out, and maybe there's a little more information in there, especially if there is a map. That is wonderful. I love maps in my books. If I'm reading a series, I love like a prologue or a recap of the book that came before. I like to have chapter numbers as well as titles. And I would want it to be like this is a really good size as far as, okay, so let me see. This is a normal size paperback. Okay? And then this one. I like this size. The feel of the cover on this one I like a lot better. So those things, it would be printed on, I like the deckled edges on paperback books. I like, or cloth bound books. And what else? If it is a hardcover, I like for instead of having like a dust jacket to it, I like the the print directly on there, and I don't like anything shiny. I want a matte finish. I don't want it to show fingerprints and all that other kind of stuff. So yeah, is there anything else that I could think of? Sometimes I like sprayed edges if they're artistic. I don't love sprayed edges if they're just a solid color. And I don't mind gold leaf or gilding or whatever you want to call it on edges. I don't mind that, but I prefer a cloth bound over a leather bound book. What else? Is there anything else that I can think of? Perfect book. That's pretty much it. Okay, and then show us a cover and why it's perfect. That covers of books, for me, I like art. I don't like photography on the cover. I would prefer a portrait or painting of some sort, or just artwork in general. If it happens to be like a mixed media kind of art, or if it's graphic art, whatever it is, I would still prefer that over an actual photograph. And so I can't think of anything, you guys. Maybe I'll put one up. I love The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. Most of the time I prefer UK covers to US covers. Not always, but usually. This was really fun. I am going to tag a few people, and I am going to tag Courtney at Courtney Reads and Jillian at Novel Opinions. And I think that's everything. I hope you ladies will want to do this. I'd love to hear your answers. James is finally feeling better, and hopefully all of this swelling and everything and rash, all of it will go down, and we should be recording our Q&A video on Thursday. I hope that you enjoyed this, and give it a thumbs up down below if you did, and I will see you on Friday with a Friday Read. I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you definitely on Friday, maybe before. Bye, everyone.